Hello everyone, it's Nora here. I just wanted to make a little video saying a few things about Stephane Grappelli. As some of you know, I got to visit his home in Paris recently, which was so special for me, and I also got to actually visit his grave in Paris, in the cemetery, which was just a wonderful experience. And I get a lot of comments from people on social media about Stephane, and he was such a wonderful musician, played on such an extraordinary and exceptional level, and had such a rich life, and a very tragic losses one after the other, but somehow he kept going, which is very inspirational to me. And also he lived such a long life and played not only wonderful violin but also wonderful piano and so many things. But I just wanted to say, I am not doing a tribute exactly to Stephane or to anyone, and I don't consider myself a gypsy jazz violinist, and personally I don't even consider Stephane to be a gypsy jazz violinist, although if you want to consider him that for the period that he was with Django, then I think that's wonderful. But Stephane played music all over the world with lots of people and played many different kinds of jazz in different formats, and so I consider Stephane to be a jazz violinist. I consider myself to be a jazz violinist. And of course there are other wonderful jazz violinists for us to learn from, people like Ray Nance and Stuff Smith and Joe Venuti and Sven Asmussen and on and on. But Stephane was really important and special to me because he was my first inspiration in terms of playing jazz violin, and really kind of rescued me, I think, from a life of playing classical music that was not fulfilling to me, and I also wasn't excelling in because I don't read music very well, and also I was very kind of rebellious and wanted to do things in my own way. So when I heard Stephane, the first recording of his that I heard was a 1956 album called Improvisations, which is him with a piano quartet. And yeah, it changed my life. And I'm not doing a tribute to Stephane or to any one musician. And I think if Stephane and I sound similar at all, I think, of course, his example was super profound for me and very important. But also I think he and I just share some basic fundamental values about music. I can't speak for him or say if he would agree with this, but I think that both of us are kind of pointing toward the same kind of potential for the violin in terms of our ideas about improvisation and time and phrasing and tone and all of those things. So, when people hear Stephane in my playing, I think that's a huge honor. And I'm really inspired by all sorts of other people too, like Walt Disney and Princess Diana and Michael Jordan, and lots of people have inspired me. Louis Armstrong and Serena Williams and Hazel Scott, and of course Stephane has a very special place in my heart because he was so extraordinary. And I hope that I can bring his spirit along, and I hope that I can have a long life and a long career like he had, and also just to keep playing in my own way, because we're in a different century now and who knows what can happen. So thank you all for listening, and talk to you soon.